Hey guys, so for this week's video I have a book review for you, and it's just going to be a review on one book. So the book that I'm going to be reviewing is The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Okay, so this book is a vampire book. It deals with Dracula, aka Vlad The Impaler, and I picked it up specifically because it was about vampires, and I wanted to read just more books about vampires in general. I do have to say that if you're looking for a book that is very typical of the vampires that they have now, well, nowadays with like vampires in modern day settings, doing modern day things, this might not be the book for you if that's what you're looking for, because this book is very, very much steeped in history. I mean, it's called The Historian for a reason. So the writer focuses a lot of the story giving you facts about history, which I find interesting, but if you're not the person that is interested in anything to do with history, you might not find it interesting, or maybe you will, because it has to do with Dracula, who was a real person. Vlad the Impaler was a real person. Yeah, so a lot of the, I have to say probably about 99% of the book just has to deal with history. I found it cool learning certain things. Like, I knew that Vlad the Impaler was real, but I didn't really know that much about him, and I think I have a better understanding of the person and about 14th century stuff like that, just reading the book. So that was cool. It gave me like some extra knowledge about stuff. Yeah. So the first thing I have to say is that the book is very long. There are 909 pages in the book, and I think that it's one of those books that you could read all at once, but I found it best to read it in small doses, so I kind of broke it up. Anytime that I found myself kind of wandering off or wanting to skip certain parts, then I would just stop and then pick up at a later time, because besides it being a very long book, the writer is very descriptive when it comes to places and people, especially places. So if you don't like reading a lot of descriptions, you might get a little bit frustrated with this book. I don't mind reading the descriptions because I enjoyed what the writer was writing about, but there were times that after reading for 2 hours or something like that, that you kind of your eyes start glazing over, you know, all the descriptions that are written. So that's when I would have like a cutoff time, and I would just like put the book down and pick it up later with like new eyes, you know, the next day or something like that. So I definitely didn't read this book all at once because the writer was very descriptive and it was pretty long, and it's one of those books that you want to get really involved in it. And if you have a lot of stuff that you need to do, like I have work and stuff, I can't actually devote my time to just reading the book, so I had to stop and be very selective of when I would pick up the book. So the descriptions didn't bother me in general. Normally they would, but I don't think that the writer was very repetitive. That's why it didn't bother me, and most of the descriptions had to do with a lot of the places that the main characters went to. So they were actual, you know, countries and places and locations. So I didn't mind all the descriptions because it gave me a better sense of kind of feeling that I was there in the place that they are. And I liked it because a lot of the places that she mentions in the book I've been to. So I don't know, it allowed me to like reminisce and just take me back to those places again. I have to say that there were moments when I was reading this that I did feel like really paranoid, and although I know that's probably silly, but I felt paranoid reading this, especially at night, because just how into the book I was and how great a storyteller I think Elizabeth Kostova is when it comes to talking about the things going on. I felt kind of like at the edge of my seat reading a good portion of the book. But I have to say that towards the end of the book, so the thing is that you spend a good like 75 to 80% of the book just learning about Vlad the Impaler and learning about the main characters, like histories and all these historical facts, and all of it is interesting. And the thing is that you don't actually get a appearance from Dracula until the very end of the book. So that's probably the part that I didn't really like that much about the book. I felt like it was a really big build-up to a little bit of a disappointment, because Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, was in it for only a couple pages in real time when he finally gets to confront the main characters. Like when we actually get to see him, you know, descriptions of him and hear him speak and stuff like that, it's not for very long. So it feels like it was built up to something that kind of was over with really quickly. But I don't regret reading the book because I found it really interesting. And the writer was obviously able to capture my attention the whole time. That's probably like my only like tiff with the book. It's just, I felt like it was built up to a little bit of a letdown because you don't get that much interaction from Vlad the Impaler. It's just like his scenes are very short, like really short. Yeah, so if you're looking to read the book and think he's going to come out early, no, you have to wait till the very, very end. Okay, so those were my honest opinions on the book, The Historian. Hopefully this video isn't too long. I have no idea how long I've been talking. I think I've been rambling. Yeah, so I will link the book title and author below, and I will also link the other book review that I did on this channel and my previous video that I uploaded, so last week's video. I'm out of breath. And I will see you guys next week with a new video, and that's it. Bye!